Everybody, it's Victus. Time to another Eden Run here, the Binding of Isaac Victor Repentance Plus series. Happy Friday, Mosh Pit. I hope your weekends are starting off to a fantastic start here. Not gonna lie, I recorded this right after yesterday's video, so I have not tallied up the like streak goals yet because it's not gone live yet. Yesterday's video isn't even out yet for another day. But thank you all very much for the support over this past week, and also thank you everyone who came out to the Tuesday stream as well. Hope it was a good one. Here's your meme of the day, brought to you by, I'm going to say Sugar Jason, maybe Sugar Jason, on this Invictus subreddit. Screenshot of the day, submitted here. Title of the thread was, why 2 item drops from the boss? And then in the thread, Sugar Jason said, Sin doesn't have anything currently that would make the boss drop 2 items. More options only affects treasure rooms. And there's options that would pull from the boss item pool, which Spoonbender is not a part of. Anyone know? With a whole bunch of question marks. Yeah, so you're probably not playing on the most recent version of Isaac, but there is now a 1% chance to drop a thematic item based on the boss that you get. And in this case, we just defeated Rag Mega, and that gave us Spoonbender. Oh, man. Epic feat. Oh, God. Bravo, Bravo, Foxtrot, Zulu, Lima, 3, Foxtrot, 9. We've got Epic Fetus, and that's all you need to know. So it's been a long time since I played with Epic Fetus. I mean, it could very well be years since we had an Epic Fetus start. And I'm going to be honest, it's not one of my favorite items in the world. It is the quintessential hard carry item, other than Mom's Knife, of course. And it did gain some synergies in Repentance. It got a lot of love, even dating back all the way to Afterbirth Plus. But Epic Fetus is still just not a fun item for me. And it's not even a matter of it being too good or anything like that. It's just a very, very boring item. I know that sounds a little rich coming from me, who plays pretty much the same way every single day, but it is true. It's not an item that I'm a big fan of, just because it's very, very, very limited in what you can do with it. Having unlimited bombs, of course, is very nice, but it's not the end all be all. It does, of course, amazing damage, and it is augmented by bomb upgrades as well. So there's a lot of upside to Epic Fetus. But I'm just gonna do that. Good idea. There is a lot of upside to Epic Fetus. It's just kind of like like somehow some people feel about Binge Eater is how I feel about Epic Fetus. It's just an item that I'm generally considering a never pick up, unless if absolutely necessary. Like if we were in dire straits and we had no damage at all, and there's just no other option and we just needed a win, then sure. It kind of falls into the same category that Ipecac does, where if I really, really, really just need something, if we have another just slog of a run that doesn't go anywhere, then yeah, we'll go ahead and take Epic Fetus. But for the most part, it's fairly highly avoidable. And with 27 cents now, it's definitely worth it for us to go into the shop. And we get Birthright. Okay. And yep. Those are items, all right. I guess mini chest. About the only thing that's actually worth anything there. I mean, God's Flesh, yeah, it does contribute towards the fungi transformation, but it's inconsistent at best, and it also causes lots of problems in terms of visibility if it procs without you seeing it. Then, of course, it also fools you into thinking that you can step over enemies, which you can. And even the enemies with death rattles have been nerfed to where they don't actually do their death rattle anymore, which was a nice change. That was a good change, but at the end of the day, I still don't like the fact that things can get shrinkified, and kind of disappear off the screen. And on top of that, they will run away from you sometimes whenever you're trying to step on them. So overall, just not for me. We go on to the last piece, question of the episode, coming in from the Suffering from Success episode, of course, which was the Binge Eater run. I had to move the OBS window just so I could see the name of the episode again, because I forgot. And this one coming in from Austin, I'm going to say Fagert. Austin Fagert, who said, question of the episode, or question of the day, how would you fix buttons? Dude, Just die. Thank you. You usually don't press them. How would you change them? How would you change them to make them more reasonable? So I wouldn't. I honestly can't think of any good ways to change it. I mean, here's the main reason why I do not press buttons. It's because they spawn enemies. If the game wanted to incentivize me actually pressing buttons, worth the gamble and all that stuff, then either the rewards need to be upped by a whole lot, or they can't spawn enemies anymore, or at least have an extremely nerfed chance. Because it's almost, I would say it's fair to say that it's about a 75% chance if you press a button, you're going to spawn some kind of enemy. I don't... Is my reflection... This is, damn it, you know what? This feels bad. I don't know what the interaction of Epic Fetus is with my reflection. I have a feeling it's nothing but just a damage upgrade, but in the off chance that it like rotates the direction that you have to fire and kind of face away from a target, much like Tiny Planet does, then I'm just not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it. Not worth it. And lucky with these random soul hearts, of course, you don't have to ever worry about using a bomb ever. Yeah, if the game wanted me to press buttons and cater to what I would be up for versus what I'm not up for, then either give us a major chance to get a good reward, or just keep it the same, but give it a very low chance to spawn enemies instead of the very high chance that it does right now. That's about the only way that I would say that I would be game for pressing buttons most of the time. I would like to see it produce some more interesting things, like having the ability to guarantee, or not guarantee, but at least have a very high chance to get a reroll machine in rooms that have items in it. We got so much HP here thanks to the safety net that Epic Fetus gives us, and of course starting with the Book of Revelations. But I mean, you know, it's no real surprise here that we're just dominating with Epic Fetus. And this is just kind of what I was talking about at the beginning of the episode, where it's just, you know, it's just like, yeah, we're gonna win this run because that's just how Epic Fetus rolls. We're gonna take Void here, of course, and void the we're gonna void the Book of Revelations. So the Book of Revelations is now on a 4-room cooldown, which is gonna increase the ever amount of soul hearts we're getting. Now we don't have to use Void anymore on this floor if I don't want to get an orbital, but honestly it's not a big deal if we get an orbital because we have Void, ironically, because we can just void it and turn it into something useful, way more useful than an orbital. I don't know if we'll ever get a refresher look at orbitals or any of the changes that Repentance did that feel real bad to me. I think the best we can ever hope for is them just buffing other items and leaving the items that were changed the way they are, and we're just gonna have to live through it. Now, of course, there are mods that you can use that would undo Repentance changes. I think it's a very popular mod on the Steam Workshop as well. I have not tried it yet. I was thinking about it though for a Wacky Wednesday. That's gonna be something that I wouldn't necessarily make a like streak goal, but I don't know. I'd make it like a Twitch or a YouTube sub goal or something like that. I think that'd be interesting to do. The Wheel of Fortune. I'm just going to use the Wheel of Fortune, and then we're just going to blow it up. We get the Steam sale, but unfortunately we didn't have enough money to get the blanket, which would have been nice, but I don't think we're going to need it. We would just be buying it for the Soul Heart and for the Holy Mantle effect. In boss rooms only, but it's, again, with us having Epic Fetus, it's not a necessary item. We don't need to be super defensive. We play super defensive. Just given how much damage we do, even at this low base damage, I mean, we're still just dominating everything. I'm going to try not to hit any of the mushrooms just in case if we see Magic Mush, because we have no way of getting to it right now. That is one of the big weaknesses of Epic Fetus that you just saw right there, are enemies that move fast and get too close to Isaac or spawn underneath them. We don't have a lot of ways to get away from them. And of course, you also have to worry about the ever-present threat of hitting yourself with Epic Fetus, which is another reason why I do not like the item. Kind of have to pre-fire your shot, which can be annoying. You have a full charge here, ready to go for the orbital that we get from Pestilence. I'm hoping we get some kind of bomb upgrades that isn't, isn't oh crap. We do get a damage upgrade, which is pretty nice, and we're just gonna laugh and move on to that devil deal. Yesterday was yesterday the song I had in my head, stuck in my head, was Bombs Over Baghdad, as I talked about, by Outkast. And today it's technically it's still the same day, but you know what I mean. Today I've had Champagne Supernova by Oasis stuck in my head all damn day. I don't know why that song came up on the radio. It's been a long time since I heard that song, and man, talk about your earworm of all earworms. It's probably even more wormy because of the fact that they say the chorus, they sing the chorus no less than probably 50 times in the song. And I don't think that that's much of an exaggeration. It's a good chorus, though. I mean, imagine being able to write music like that. That's the dream, man. But it is an absolute earworm of a song, and a good one. I'm not a big Oasis fan. The Gallagher brothers, I've never really been huge fans of, just mainly because every time I saw them on TV, it was always them arguing with each other, or being ugly, or not really the best side of them. And, whoops, I did not mean to use that full charge. Well, we're going to get a full charge anyway, because we got to go find the item room first. But there's no denying how talented they are. And I think that, they're, it's... Creative people often tend to have some quirks about them. Nice way to say that. I don't think I'm particularly talented or creative at the end of the day. I have good ideas. I have a business mindset. Paris Toy does nothing for us, but we'll take it anyway. Guess we do get a reroll or something. Although it did just spawn it did just proc off of Epic Fetus, which I've never seen that before. Huh. Interesting. Congrats, I'm happy for y'all. Huh, so yeah, apparently it does actually affect Epic Fetus. News to me. I did not know that. All the super talented and super creative people that I know all have... It'd be mean to say issues. It's nicer to say quirks. I mean, no one's perfect, obviously. I mean, everyone's got their flaws. I will take Empty Vessel just because I want the flying. And it's practically a free item. Not quite free, but it might as well be. Last week's video, people giving props to the Eternal D Sizzle, which is true. It was the product of us getting Binge Eater via the Eternal D6, which also extends to Booster Pack too, if I recall correctly. It was a good run. I mean, you know, I understand why people don't like Binge Eater. I'm not willfully ignoring people who criticize episodes when we take Binge Eater, but you also got to understand that I like the item. I just like the item. It's a strong item. It's the same thing goes with Mom's Knife. You know, it's the same argument that I always make, which is just it's in the game. It's in the game, and we're not modifying it at all. It's just how it is. It just happens to be an extremely good item. I mean, you gotta at least have something, like, you know, like you gotta give us something to be happy about every now and then. Not everything has to be super hardcore and unfun in this game, as much as, of course, the developers would want it to be, obviously. But you know what I mean. We gotta have some good items in there. Here's our first greed fight after getting Steam Sale. I don't know if the Teardrop Charm does anything for Parasitoid. I don't think it does, but we're not really using the Swallow Penny, and we're not really using stores because there's just no need for it. That's back-to-back procs there with Teardrop. It's proccing a lot more often. Sagittarius, I'm taking it just for the speed upgrade. Oh, this is a death room right here. Get Dumpy. I'm gonna go ahead and void Dumpy. I know, but look, we don't need him. We don't need. Look at our freaking HP. Who's gonna harm us? We are currently our worst enemy. The only danger is ourselves here. We will have a full charge in preparation to void this orbital. Empty Vessel going off, just kind of doing its thing. We'll just go ahead and void that and get a speed upgrade and a luck upgrade. Mazel tov. Honestly, I didn't even see him leap like that, but I'm glad that we caught it. Avoid the range upgrade. We get a Tears upgrade. Man, if only we didn't have Epic Fetus. Unfortunately, Tears upgrades don't do anything for Epic Fetus. As cool as that would be if they traveled faster or something like that. That's another kind of complaint that I have with Epic Fetus is that stats. The only stat that really matters for Epic Fetus is damage. That's it. It's not really affected by anything. And I'd like to see a little bit more thought put into improving it. I think Bob's Bladder, does that increase the slowing creep radius of Parasitoid? Upward inflection? That's a giant little haunt. Can't tell. Mom's Box is an excellent trinket to, or excellent item to void here. So we now get a trinket every time we use void. We'll back up here. Obviously, we have tons of time to make boss rush. We keep her sack. Too little, too late, unfortunately, but we can hit ourselves here. Go and grab that. We'll grab that. We'll buy everything here. A little bit of damage. Nothing crazy, nothing groundbreaking, but it's a little bit of damage. Money back in the donation machine since we dinged it yesterday. Take it. We'll even bomb the keeper. You get for being there. Doesn't look like Creepy Bombs is affecting Parasitoid. By Creepy Bombs, I mean Bob's Bladder. It doesn't look like it's actually doing anything, so I think we might go back to the Teardrop Charm, I guess. I mean, it doesn't really matter. It's not like the Parasitoid creep does any damage or anything like that. It would be nice if it did. All it does is just give you slow. You don't care about... we actually, it doesn't matter if we void the D10 or not, but it's kind of like whatever. No, this is one of those whatever items. The next time we void, we will get a trinket. Now, surprisingly, maybe unsurprisingly to hear, but the mom fight is actually quite annoying with Epic Fetus. And you pretty much just have to guess at which door she's going to be in, because you'll almost never be able to hit the foot. Good hit there. I'm just gonna take the Polaroid. I mean, look, it's an Epic Fetus run. Okay, I know that I keep saying that, but it's an Epic Fetus run. If you didn't know already, you know, it's just kind of like it's neat. It's gonna be an easy stroll here. I think voiding Guppy's head is also not bad. I'm gonna void Little Horn as well. Get a damage upgrade. Okay. Ooh. 2020 would drop 2 bombs at once instead of 1. But let this be just a testament to how strong Epic Fetus is, that our stats are really not anything special to look at. And we are still just dominating everything. There's no subtlety in this run here. It's just we're going to smash this run, and the game cannot do anything in retaliation at all. And that's what Epic Fetus does. So, you know, I may lament at getting it and you know how just one-dimensional it is, but it's still a good item. It falls totally in the category of Mom's Knife and Binge Eater. It's just, for me, compared to those two hard carry items, this one's less exciting. There's the XL. I'm gonna guess it's to the southwest. Yeah, there's the 2020 shot. I had no idea that the doppelganger was still alive. Would have used the orbital on them. I am gonna use Void in here. It's going to guarantee us a death or conquest fight, but that's fine. We can cycle through trinkets and recover our HP, so... Yep, I was right. This is a pin room? My God. Pin, what are you doing in here? There's, like, no room to move, buddy. Could have picked an infinitely better choice of a room to spawn in. Conquest Pony... Don't need it. It doesn't help us at all. I mean, yeah, we could void it just for the effect, the Crack the Skizzle effect, but I don't think it's really necessary. And You know, after the month that we've had, I'll take a freebie win game. Usually our Friday runs are a little more. For some reason, Friday runs are either really, really good or really, really bad. We got the Bookworm transformation, which is going to spawn another Predator missile if it does proc. So on top of 2020 now, we have a chance of dropping a third Predator missile. That right there. I don't know how we got out of there without taking a hit. I thought we were cooked. And I'm going to keep just using Void here for the sole purpose of just cycling trinkets. The HP is nice, but again, I don't even think we've been hit. We may not have ever been hit in this entire run. This might be a hitless run. Someone, the Mosh Pit, will have to do a have to give me an update on that, because I can't recall getting hit, but I probably just jinxed myself, so. Man, that parasitoid effect does work. Right, Jacob's Ladder. It does actually work with Epic Fetus. I think. Just go void everything else in here. Get another Tears upgrade. Everything but damage. The only stat that could have possibly helped us. Yeah, man, Parasitoid just owns. Slowing field is amazing, and this definitely confirms that we did not get any sort of benefit out of Bob's Bladder, by the way, because those creep pools there are absolutely the same size no matter what. A random fly. Oh no, random fly, why not? Beelzebub transformation, sure. Hemolacria gives us a huge amount of damage. Oh, you know what? We did take damage. I think we took damage against the double blue Gerties, maybe? Was that on this run? The Mosh Pit historians, look it up. Okay. Bro didn't even stick around to see what he threw. Mystery Egg, one for the road, and that'll be all she wrote. So a little bit of a shorter run today, and I apologize about that, but there's not much I can do without having a reroll of any kind. We're just going to be looking at the same run over and over again, so we'll take it. Nice early exit here on a Friday. Don't forget, everybody, if you're interested in Pokemon, check out our Pokemon breaks tonight on Twitch, starting around 6 p.m. Central, which is 4 p.m. Pacific time, and 7 p.m. Eastern time. Would love to see you out there. We've got some exciting breaks tonight, so check them out. Check out Sinvicta.tv. That's also eventually we will be hosting the randomizer app on the website, and a whole lot more, and merch as well. So thank you for watching, everyone. Thank you for liking, commenting, and subscribing. And as always, I'll see you all next time. Until then, so long, everybody. Thanks for watching this video. I'd like to thank some patrons of mine like Stephen Alexander, Daniel Lynch, and Buy Donuts. If you'd like to have your name read at the end of an Isaac episode, check out my Patreon campaign, which you can find at patreon.com/Sinvicta.